Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Can I start or somebody is going to?
Yes,
Yes,
over
Sorry,
to you,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Okay, then. So you have finished. Okay, so Hare Krishna devotees. So today is my turn. So let's start with the pranayam mantra and then recap, and then I'll start my presentation. So Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauruvani Pricharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasade Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Sri Chaitanya Om Namo ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जन शलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुर्वैष्णवाञ्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगण रघुनाथं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सगन ललिता श्री विशाखान्वित हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्य वैष्णवेभ्य नमो नमः श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री वासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरो चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वती व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नष्टके कृष्णे स्वदाम् उपगते धर्मज्ञानादिभिः सह कलो नश्वदिशामेष पुराणार्को अदोनित हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna devotees. So with that pranayam mantra, I'll hand over to someone who will be doing a recap, and then I'll come back again. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Please accept my
Uh,
humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So we will be doing the recap of lesson 23. So in the last session, Prabhuji covered lessons 22 and 23, uh, which is Adhikarana 5, which states that Dahara is nothing but Supreme Personality of Godhead. So in this two lessons, 13 sutras from 13 to 23 were covered. But in the last class, Sunday class, we covered sutras 16 to 23, which we will be recapping over here. So we start off with the sutra 16, which says, Dhartescha mahimno syasmin upalabdeha. So here it says that because of the description of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the small sky is nothing but the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, which quality of the Lord, because of which function of the Lord, here they are confirming in this sutra that small sky is referred to only Lord Shri Krishna, Lord Vishnu, but nothing else.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Yes, Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Hare Krishna.
Because Lord is controlling and protecting all worlds, and He is free from all sin. That is why He is
Yes.
considered as
This
supreme.
he is being referred to as the Dahara, that is the small sky. Yes, because of Lord is maintaining all the worlds because of this quality of his. He is to be referred as the small sky and no one else. So here, what are the other uh, philosophers like other philosophers like Dvaita Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta? What are they interpreting? How are their interpretations different from what is mentioned over in this sutra?
They think that Jibatma may be referred to as Dahara because it is known as the controller of body. Yes, because it performs all the functions of the body, and also the elements of the sky can also be considered as Dahara.
Yeah. So the Advaita philosophy says that when the soul becomes pure, it is non-dual but the Brahman. So hence it could be the small sky. And the Dvaita philosophy is distinguishing the Jivatma from the Paramatma, but the focus of Dvaita philosophy is not on Lord Vishnu. Hence, these two philosophies have their own interpretations. But here in this sutra, it is specifically mentioned that this particular interpretation is Vishnu centric. It is Lord Krishna centric. So that is the difference in the interpretation. So what are the attributes of Lord Vishnu? Hare Krishna. Anybody can give
Yes,
the
Mataji, Hare Krishna. He is eternal. He is beyond everything. He is the cause of everything. He is free of sin, beyond three modes of material, omniscient, omnipresent. Every quality which we have in so many class we have described, all refers to, all belongs to Him only. We cannot possess any. We are very minor quality we possess, but Lord is infinite. He possesses each and every quality in fullest.
He has more potency. That is, he can be small as this Dara, and he can stay there. And also, he is he can show his Vishwarupa or Virat Rupa.
yeah,
Yeah,
Transcend and immanence as well as immanence. Transcendent
yes.
and as well as हमारे चैतन्य चरितामृत में एक बहुत अच्छा मंगलाचरण का श्लोक भी है, उसमें भी ये दहरा के बारे में बताया है कि हरिपूर्ण सुंदर धृति कदम संदीपित सदा हृदय कंदरे स्फुरतु व शचीनंदन. हमारे हृदय रूपी जो छोटी सी गुफा है उसमें हमेशा भगवान का स्थान हमारा रहे.
Yes. Wonderful. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, so this sky is Lord Vishnu only, and he is residing in our heart. So, what according to Srimad Bhagavatam, how can one access this pure sky, this small sky, or this transcendental sky? What is the method of accessing this pure energy, Supreme Personality of Lord? As per
Yeah, I
the
think, it is Srimad Bhagavatam talks about sound, right? It's a
yes,
Omkar. So discuss about how to enter transcendental sky through spiritual sound vibration.
correct.
That's what it talks. Basically, that's what it says here.
Yeah. You can access it through the spiritual sound vibration.
Sound.
So here they have mentioned Omkara. Where
It
is
cleans
Omkara?
the impurities of heart. When
Correct.
we chant the Omkara and mantra, then it purifies our impurities. Purify our impurities.
Because this is not any ordinary sound, it's a transcendental sound. That's why it has the potency of
Yes.
removing sins and purifying the Jivatma. So there's a specific mention of Omkara. Where is Omkara coming from and what does it represent? It is
Omkara is
mentioned. Yes,
Omkara is a sound incarnation of a Lord,
yeah.
arising from the heart of Lord Brahma.
Yes,
This also represents Brahman, the all eternal manifestation.
yeah,
That's what it says.
correct. Thank you, Prabhu.
Absolute truth.
Absolute.
Mm.
Okay, so this was Sutra 16, which highlights that the small sky here is linked to Lord Krishna because of his qualities, which a Jivatma cannot possess, and Lord can be approached through the transcendental sound, and Omkara is a transcendental sound, which comes directly from the heart of Lord Brahma, and it
Brahman.
is to be considered as the absolute truth. So now let us go to Sutra number 17. Here, the Sutra number 17 is Prasiddhescha, meaning that because of the traditional use of the word. So, what is this? Which word is being traditionally used here? Which term is traditionally used here in the scriptures? Which word they are referring to?
Sky. The term sky is traditionally associated with
With the Supreme Personality. Perfect. So the term sky, because that is traditionally used in all the scriptural texts, it is highlighting. So as per the Tritiya Upanishad 2.7.1, what symbolizes this? What does the sky symbolize? As per the Tritiya Upanishad, what is this small sky symbolizing? What is it symbol of?
the sky symbolizes source of all pleasure and spiritual fulfillment. According
Only
to
Dipti Mataji, Raksha Mataji, and Radha Vinod Prabhuji are answering. Please participate. Anybody who is still not answered, I would request all to participate. Then, as per Bhagavatam 577, what are the yogis meditating on?
Meditate on the Paramatma in the heart, which represent the sky. Sorry, Mataji, I was not saying because I also took the class, but I will also.
No, Prabhuji just requested all to participate.
No, that's fine. Yeah, I just thought, okay, I only took the class, so but okay. Yes.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So the yogis in the very pure state are meditating on this sky, which is there inside the heart of the every human being, every living entity. So the again in the other reference of Srimad Bhagavatam 6.9.42, what is the description of Supreme? How is Supreme described?
Hare Krishna Mataji. The Supreme is described as the witness of different activities. That is the self and the universal sky. So that is we get the idea that the sky is representation of the Supreme truth.
Yeah.
So
Yes, thank you, Mataji. So this sky that we are talking of is a source of absolute bliss. The pure yogis in a very pure state are meditating on this sky. And this Supreme is the absolute truth. So this term sky is related in this context to the Supreme Personality of Godhead because it's the source of bliss, because you can get connected to this source by meditating on it, and because it is the absolute truth. So this is how the scriptures is supporting the term sky. So key points are that all the Upanishads and Bhagavad Purana are stating that the sky is referring to the Lord. Okay, so we go ahead to another Sutra 18, which is Itara Paramashat Sa Iti Chain Na Sambhava. So here there is a very important word, Na Sambhava, significa impossible. What is impossible over here? We are saying that I'll just read the sutra. The meaning is that because there is a mention of something like a mention of Jivatma in the same passage, therefore the small sky here is Jivatma, but no, it is impossible. So
Yes,
what is
Mataji.
impossible?
Yes, Mataji. Jivatma is always have a tendency to doing the sinful activities. And भगवान जो है वो कभी भी उनको sin नहीं लगता है. So this is the main quality. हमेशा we are the tend to do sinful activities, and Paramatma is free from sinful activities.
Yeah. So Jivatma referred to as small sky is impossible because of the nature of Jivatma, which Mataji said that his nature is
knowingly and
not
unknowingly we are doing so many sins.
So Jivatma is susceptible to sins, and Jivatma is a conditioned soul, and he's suffering from the Adhyatmic and all these sufferings, Adi Devik and Adi Bhautamic. Yes. So, hence it is impossible that Jivatma can be referred. So, what is the counter argument, or what are the Purva Pakshis arguing? What is their basis of argument over here?
They refer to Chandogya.
Yes,
Yes, Prabhuji, go ahead.
they say as per Chandogya Upanishad, it is referring to Jivatma, which has been purified through the process of, and they are like now the Shara, not Akshara. So they are part of those who are purified. That is the Jivatma they are referring to. So that Jivatma, purified Jivatma, is the small sky or the heart.
Yeah. So they're saying a pure Jivatma who is liberated soul can be described as this small sky, but that is not the case. So that explanation is given in the next sutra. So next sutra is Uttareched Avirbhava Swarupastu, which proves that because of the nature, like because of the, although it is being said like that, but because of the nature of the Jivatma, it cannot be referred to the small sky. So they are outrightly refuting that Jivatma cannot be here. The small sky is not Jivatma because of his nature. So we've already seen this attribute. So I'll go ahead to the next sutra. So sutra number 19 is further supporting sutra number 18, showing that Jivatma's qualities, because he is conditioned and susceptible to sins, cannot refer to this particular thing. So let's come to the another sutra, which is Anyarthascha Parama Shesh. The description of the Jivatma here is a different object. So here, what is the purpose of describing Jivatma over here? In this sutra, they are mentioning the Jivatma. So what is the purpose of describing Jivatma over here?
Purpose of describing Jivatma is to illustrate about the Supreme Lord and the relationship between the Supreme Lord and Jivatma.
Correct. Perfect. And what is the, again, there is a counter argument over here by the Purva Pakshis. They are saying, now they are arguing about the word small. So what is their argument? They're saying Jivatma is...
Because they say that Jivatma is small.
Small sky. That's why it is a small Jivatma.
So Jivatma is small, therefore the small sky must be representing the Jivatma.
Yes. So that is, now they are argumenting on the word, that because of this term small, it is referring to Jivatma. But it is not the case. It is highlighted that here, so then why, what is the samadhan over here? What is this saying?
The term small doesn't refer to Jivatma, but refers to Supreme Personality of Godhead, because it is the form he takes to facilitate our meditation.
Perfect. Thank you, Mataji. So here, the next sutra 21 says that this term small is not in reference to Jivatma, but it is the form taken by the Lord to facilitate the Jivatma to approach him. So Shrutis are stating that Supreme Personality of Godhead can be easily meditated when he is in a small form in the heart. It facilitates the Jivatma to meditate upon him in this small form. So hence this small sky is referring to that particular, it is in that context, not in context to the Jivatma. So now we come to the Sutra 22, which says that the Jivatma resembles to Supreme Personality of Godhead in some aspects. So how does the Jivatma resembles the God? How are we, uh, are we in the line, like do we have some resemblance to the Supreme Personality of Godhead?
The
Do we have some
Satchidananda
qualities?
feature are there, but they are
Yeah,
in very minute quantity.
yeah,
So quality-wise, little bit resemblance, but quantity is infinite for the Lord and very limited for the Jiva.
yeah. And Jivatma also, when does it gets these godlike qualities? Is it inherently it gets these qualities, or
We have to
When it is
cultivate.
yeah,
We
it
have to
has to be
cultivate.
cultivated? Okay. So it is very clearly mentioned that the Jivatma, when he practices devotion, then these spiritual qualities are cultivated in him. When he meditates on the divine, then the divine qualities are cultivated in him. So that is also the source is the Supreme Personality of Godhead only. So these qualities that is mentioned that Jivatma resembles, these qualities he gets when he is engaged in the spiritual activities. So here then the another question is how do you, what analogy is given? What analogy is given to state this resemblance? Is there any
It's
analogy
like
given here?
Hanuman is mentioned like Pawan, doesn't mean he is the god of the wind. He just resemble in speed to the
Yes. He has certain quality of that particular uh, God in him, but that doesn't mean he is him. So the analogy is given. So here, Mundaka Upanishad states that the Jivatma resembles the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he has the potential to cultivate those qualities if he achieves liberation. Bhagavad Gita also supports that if a person thinks of God, at the end gets transformed, and due to his devotion, he realizes the Supreme Personality of God. So we do resemble to Lord in some aspects, but we this resemblance, once the illusion, if we work on removing the illusion, and if we are engaged in spiritual practices, then we can cultivate some of his qualities to some extent. But he is the source of all these qualities. So let us conclude with the last sutra. The last sutra is Api Samaryeta, which says this is also described in the Smriti Shastra. So what is confirming that the small sky is nothing but the Supreme Personality of Godhead? What is confirming? Which authority? The Smriti
Bhagavad
Shastras.
Gita.
Yes.
Which says that uh, he says that the Jiva is part and parcel and is divine
Yeah.
under his divine.
Correct.
Mamevansho jiva loke, jiva bhuta sanatana.
Yeah. The relationship of the Jivatma with the Supreme Personality is very clearly mentioned in the Smriti Shastras and the Bhagavad Gita, which says that Lord Krishna is himself saying that if you fix your attention, fix your mind on me, then you will attain me. So Jivatma has to attain a further his source, which is the Lord, which is the source of complete bliss. So here, the small sky, Dahara, is complete bliss in a small form residing in the heart of every living entity, which has to be attained by spiritual practices. So I end over here, Prabhuji. Over to you, Radhavinath Prabhu. I hope I have not taken much time. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna Mother. Hare Krishna Mother. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. The same concept will continue into the next also. Okay, so I'll share my screen and we'll go ahead. Okay. Share more. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Hare Krishna devotees. So welcome to today's class on Govinda Bhash. And as Mataji basically she recapped a small sky. We are going to go with a small again. It's not a big, but the same philosophy will echo here also in a different format. So that's what we are going to continue. So today and tomorrow I'll be discussing lesson 24 and lesson 25. I'm audible, right, Prabhuji? I'm clear and audible?
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhuji.
Okay,
Perfect.
good. Perfect. Okay. So on lesson 24, we'll be reviewing this Adhikarana 6. The person, the size of thumb is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The small sky is also Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we'll do that today. This Adhikarana 6, the person, the size of thumb has got two sutras. Uh, and that is the Sutra 1.3.24 and 25. And the next one, that is Adhikarana 7, the Devas can meditate on the Supreme Personality Godhead. This is also new to me. Devas so far, we'll talk about as we go through that. And let's see what is the conclusion of that. This particular has got 8 sutras. So what I'll be doing, like last time also it was done, we will be doing that lesson 24, and from lesson 25 I'll start introduction and we'll do sutra. So today we'll be doing sutra 1.3.24, 25, 26, 27, and then the remaining will continue tomorrow. So that is a breakup of that. Just one more thing, I thought that just the PowerPoints, before the PowerPoints, I will go through basically um, wisdom library, and I'll just read, quickly, and then we'll go through that. That's how we'll maintain here, because I feel it will be little easy. Seeing the right slokas and all that, much helps on that. Okay, so with that, we'll start with that. So today, as I said, that lesson 24, that's what we are talking about. And basic Adhikarana is the 6. The person, the size of thumb is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now, this particular concept, the person, the size of thumb is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or the reference or referring of a thumb is not something new. We are hearing many times, Bhagavad Gita also, Lord says, Sarvacham Radhi Vasto Mata Smartim Gyanam Apoyanam Cha Vedocham Vedo Vedankrita Vedvachaham Sarvacham Radhi Vasto. So where is this side thumb? Thumb size, this is a small portion, resides. It is in the heart. So the thumb is very important, just like a small sky. Little bit of difficult to understand the small sky refers, but thumb, since we have learned, yogis meditate on that thumb size. Sometimes that is a referred also 8 inches also. We saw that. So we should not get caught up with that. We have to just go analogy, let's not get into that very small and very big. That's how we have to understand. So also, before we go into details, let's little more, let's understand little bit more so that it becomes easy as I go through the PowerPoints of Charu Prabhuji, because it's a philosophical, once you go get through a different parameters, how he brings out details, so let's understand plain understanding of that here. So size of thumb, as I remember why thumb is so important, just joke apart, in Maharashtra people call thumb means in Angta Bahadur, the guy, person who is unpad man who doesn't understand. Thumb is also ID, when you go to the airport, nowadays they ask us put a thumb. So all that information, my ID, our ID is stored into that. It's not just like a thumb we are talking about, and the location is not something different. It's in the heart, right? Thumb is in the heart. That's what we'll be also saying. So both has a really significance when you see that, when it is as I'm reading or I understand, who does meditate, the thumb size in the heart. Devotees normally we don't do, right? We see full form of the Lord. When we see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we don't want to see a small. We see 6.5 feet or 7 feet Lord Chaitanya. When we see Lord Krishna or any other God, we see the full form, and that is where we meditate on that. That is why we relish his leelas, or we relish his form, his name, right? His qualities. But again, this is specifically all that we are doing is basically a Jnani. They look for Brahman is absolute, but as we understand, it's non-different from Lord. And Charu gave a lot of example, giving attribute, saying that everything is also coming from Brahman. Even material creation is happening from him, right? So it's not a small thing. So heart, it says that why it's heart, because it's a very important, understand. And old days sages used to see, normally we have vision of all pervading aspect. Lord is, kan kan mein Ram hai, everywhere is there. So Ram, everywhere is there. How to worship, again that concept of meditation we are talking about. So localize it. So that's where the again thumb size comes to the picture. Small sky comes. The small is not small. Small is just understanding. For understanding person, that Lord who is all pervading, he's all powerful, he's omnipotent, omnipresent, all that omnipotent Lord is just sitting in the heart. So he is within us also and not away. So with that, we'll continue that understanding. So Adhikarana, as we said, the person, the size of the thumb is the Supreme Personality Godhead. So what I will do here, I'll just pick up few things here. Adhikarana 6, that's a wisdom library on that. So it says that, it talks about that the person, the size of thumb is the Supreme Personality Godhead. And then it says Angusta. Angusta matra purusho madhya atmani tishtati. Ishano bhuta bhavya yasya tato na viju gupta se. So Angusta Matra is like Angusta Matra. Again, people meditate. Ishano, he is a Ishwar. Bhuta, he knows the past, he knows the present. And that the Lord we are talking about, the person, the size of thumb stands in the heart. Because again, just now Mataji said, Sarvacham Radesh Sannivishto, right? Lord is situated in our heart. Why again heart? Because that is supposed to be the center of the body. Sometimes I think why the Lord is not in the head, because it's supposed to be the highest, consciousness. Brahmanas are born from there and all those things are there. But this is how analogy. In old days, it is said, the sages used to say, where is the Lord? Lord is in the body. Which part of the body? It is in the heart. And it becomes some focus, right? That's the significance of that. Beyond that, we should not read too much into that. That's my understanding. Maybe at the end, the Charu Prabhuji can also explain. As we present do in IT and other places, like a big screen is there, we used to take a light point and just point on that. That is the meaning of that, right? Just to pinpoint that. Meditation needs a pinpoint. That is for the where the enjoying the leelas, we see the entire Lord. We see all other participants, all the other devotees along with the Lord, right? The whole structure we see there. but here is a meditation in isolation, in silence, to meditate on the Lord. That's what is there. So, Master, he does not fear. His attribute is there. Lord, he doesn't have to fear. This is it. That person of the size of thumb is like a light without smoke. Again, Achinta quality. How come there will be light without smoke? The Lord of the past and future, he is the same today and tomorrow. It does not changing. Right? That's what is there. Samshaya, is this person size of the thumb, Jiva? Just now, small sky. We saw that. It small is a Jiva, bigger is a Lord. That's a kind of analogy. So, is that a Jiva? Then Puru Paksha, the way we go through that four stages of getting through the conclusion. Puru Paksha, there's again, as it says that the ruler, he gives a being another thing. The ruler of a breath moves about, impelled by karma. He is the size of thumb because another place thumb is coming into picture, and that is what is the Svetashwar Upanishad talks about. So since that word thumb is coming again, it has brought for a comparison purpose, and we understand ruler of breath. That means the control of that impacted by karma. Can the Lord be impacted by karma? Just now we saw that he's not. He doesn't get a sin. Karma brings sin, right? Good karma, bad karma, sin or auspicious, both are in the material world. So he doesn't bring it. So he is splendid as sun. So again, it's a contradiction is there. So Puru Paksha themselves, they are contradicting. How come karma and he is eternal and he is a controller and splendid like a sun? All those things are there. That is what is there. So with that, let's come back our, and now with some understanding, let's dive in, understand Charupuru's slides here. Okay, so okay, so Vishya, the central theme or core statement amid today's rapid change and questions about enduring meaning. So searching for the meaning, small, big, to present eternity, absolute truth. That's what we are doing. The ancient debate over the person, the size of thumb in the heart remains vitally relevant, right? And this we heard, you know, this figure invites reflection on the nature of the self and net the self here. That means both it could be, it's a Lord as well as we are also self, right? We'll distinguish as we go and search for the inner reality that remains constant despite outward distraction. This particular form of the Supreme Personal Godhead characterized as the ultimate master of time. Jiva is not ultimate master of time and knower of the past and future. We don't know past because we change the body and everything is lost. We don't know future because we don't know where we'll go from here. So definitely we are not here. As we go through, read where we are going. As the statement says, he is the Supreme Personality Godhead. So every string we are pulling from all that information, and as we go through that, gradually come to the understanding he is the one, right? The is the Supreme Personality Godhead. So again, Katha Upanishad, just we saw that describe the thumb-sized person, fearless. He is eternal, akin to light without smoke. Just now we saw this image evoke pure, undisturbed radiance, like a candle that burns steadily without flicker, not disturbed by material manifestation or material disturbance. He is the Lord. He is a master. He is a control of the material manifestation. He is not in three modes of material nature. When the jiva also reaches the samadhi stage, he is also his chitta, his vritti, his mind is also not flicker, right? He's a focus because he understands who is he understands who is a Brahman, he understands who is a Lord. So there is no, because just because we are not still conditioned by three modes of material, we are flickering here, right? So, so it is not that we are there. For readers unfamiliar with the original metaphor, it suggests that inner presence that shines with unwavering clarity and serenity, unmarred by obstacles or confusion. More or less, this entity is unchanging and omniscient, right? Omniscient, omnipotent. We'll see why the Lord has to such a Lord of height and there all pervading. Why he has to be in small like anguta, right? We'll see that embodying the essence of existence across time. Okay, so
But
time is
Charu Prabhuji
important.
wants to say something.
It's okay. Let him
Okay, go ahead,
continue.
Prabhuji. Yeah, go ahead,
Let him
Prabhuji.
continue. I think I'll make a comment at the end, continue.
Okay,
Because you have limited time, that's why I don't want to
yeah,
corrupt your
I
time.
have Prabhuji. Yeah, okay. I got some extra time because everybody finished early, Prabhuji. If you want to me change something direction, I can go ahead. Tell me something.
No, go ahead,
No.
please. Go ahead.
Okay. So samshya. Okay. So in classical Vedic debate, the section shows samshya, right? So here, let's get into that. There is ambiguity regarding the identity of this thumb-sized person. Is this Jivatma or it's the Lord, Supreme Personality Godhead? Small is a Jivatma because we saw that, we are also part and parcel of the Lord. We have many qualities, maybe in a small. Lord has got a full. But that is why the thing comes. This is the person of Jivatma. Okay, so and the Supreme Personality God. So this is where the question of Jivatma is coming, right? The samshaya, and it's a valid samshaya. Okay, now Vishya, samshaya, thesis. Now again, little bit of more are here on this. I mean, today's again same thing is repeated here. Samshaya, we also saw that summary and conclusion. So fearless and timeless. So these are two highlighted here. Highlights the qualities attributed to the ultimate reality. That's the Lord. Whether the Jivatman or divine. For spiritual seeker, the understanding these qualities means recognizing that core self is untouched by fear hard, right? That the Jiva or the Ishwar or fleeting nature of a time, it doesn't impact him. For instance, bringing this awareness into the daily life can soften anxiety. So knowing that Lord is sitting with us, sometime previously we saw that morning we chant Omkara, we chant the mantras, we connect with the supreme reality. So it is not in isolation, right? The Lord is with us in this form he connects, he brings the spiritualism to our level because we are a material world, just take us out. So there's a connectivity into that. So that brings to the here Sutra 25. I'll take just 1 minute very quickly. I don't want to spend time, but there is nice thing to see here. So Sutra 1.3.24. So it talks of Shabdat eva Pramit. Shabdat, whenever word Shabdat, it is a Vedas. So that is so far we understand. But Pramita, it's a limited. These are the words, and even though very small, this person, Supreme Personal God, because of the word. So even though he's small, referred here, but he's the supreme personality of Godhead. Baldev Bhushanji mentioned that personal size of thumb is the Lord Vishnu and none other. So again, the Upanishad text referred here is a Ishano Bhuta Bhavishya, right? He knows past and present. We saw that details here. So again, now here, one thing I notice it, the last line refers to the next one. What is the coming forward? So it may be asked, how is it possible for all pervading Supreme Personality Godhead to become limited to this small? Now that's it. Let's go to the here. 24. So again, same thing. The small person is Supreme Personality because of the word. That's the Vedas is talking about. Sutra assert that the thumb-side person described in the Upanishad is indeed Supreme Lord and not Jivatma, because we saw he knows past and future. Plus, there are some other things will come. Scriptural authority. It's important, right? You can conclude at the high level, but again, scriptural authority. The emphasis on the authority of the word, Vedas. Like Paurishya, right? On that, the phrase, because the words Shabdat indicate that the interpretation is grounded in a scriptural evidence. Otherwise, whatever is there in the Vedas, whatever is described is absolute. So there's no question on that. Again, Upanishad, Ishano Bhuta Bhavishya. He is the master of the past and future. That's what is said. Now, the obvious question, how is it possible that all pervading, the Lord can become limited? And that is where the next sutra comes. I'll again go little here to the next, because I see little bit of helpful here. Again here, Radhi upekshaya tu manusha adhikaratvat. Okay, so here it said this is so because the Supreme Personal Godhead indeed appears in the heart of a man. Now this brings the next, um, uh, next adhikarnas. We will see that only the human beings can meditate or not. This opens up to the next. Let's see. Baldev Vidyabhushanji mentioned the word "to" is used here for emphasize purpose. Right, and I will discuss many times this one. The all-pervading supranational Godhead becomes the size of thumb because two things are mentioned here. Meditation it becomes easy because just we saw that like we when we focus on the Lord's Leela Krishna's, we don't meditate on one part of the Leela, but here Gyanis they meditate on pinpoint meditation becomes easy on that, right on that. So interpretation is that because he appears by inconceivable potential, so Lord can become anything. He is a within atom and between the atom he is a Virat Rupa also he has seen and we are describing the Bhagavatam. So he has inconceivable potential. For us becomes easy to meditate on that. Okay, so let's go back to the our discussion. So 25 emphasize that Supreme Personality all pervading can assume the form of thumb size entity in the heart of human being. Okay, meditative focus that we saw. Since this form is a point of meditation for human, it is presented in a way that is comprehensible and relatable. Very important, comprehensive. You can understand. It is not out of the context. Okay, that's one. Relatable. It must relate with us. The Lord, He is us, who controls us. He is our, He is everything for us. When we get out of condition, we go back to Him. So we relate that person. So it helps us, right? And we can connect with it. And it creates enthusiasm with us, right? So under there, reader might picture the subtle presence they evoke during practice such as daily zapas. I mentioned in that one. Bhagavad Gita 8.4 reference Supreme Lord as the super soul in the heart, emphasizing his omnipotence and importance of worshipping him. I think straightforward. I'm not going to the more details because we have seen. Maybe the next we'll have more details on that. Again, here Srimad Bhagavatam 2.2.6 reinforces the notion that through no devotion one can transcend the conditional state of existence. So again, this is the meaning of that. This is so because Supreme Personal Godhead indeed appears in the heart of a man. So now these two sutras, one gives the identity, tells its size, that another justifies why is the Supreme Personality Godhead and not the human. So only these two are enough to identify. I just see only these two sutras, and let's see common denominator how they are combined on that. So Sutra 24 and 25 assert that thumb-sized person in the human heart is indeed the Lord Vishnu, reinforcing his divine nature and attributes. Both sutras emphasize scriptural authority, emphasize significance of scriptural text in determining the nature of Supreme Being and his manifestation. Why is the thumb side? Easy to meditate on that, right? And the Lord is a chint. He can become smaller than smaller and bigger than bigger. Srila Prabhupada talks many other places who can confine the Lord, right? So, but what he does, it does, there's a purpose, right? All the purpose is to connect with us, which we can understand, we can relate. Just now we saw that word there, relatable also, we saw that. So relationship to the Jivatma. So Lord relation with the Jivatma. The Sutra contrast the Lord's capabilities with those of Jivatman, clarifying that the Jivan does not possess the same omnipotent qualities as is limited in size and power. We again recap also we saw that. Now identity and accessibility of thumb side Lord Vishnu. While Sutra 25 establishes the identity of thumb-sized person as the Lord Vishnu, though scriptural evidence, Sutra 25 elaborates on how this divine form is accessible to a human being because easy to become focused. in that one, emphasizing meditation and worship. Right? Therefore, textual authority and experience. Textual authority, identity, that thumb size is the Lord, and experimental, that we can feel He's in the heart, accessibility, coverage to affirm Vishnu's indwelling form. So, understanding of the form. Together, these two sutras provide a comprehensive understanding of the Supreme Personality God's lost presence in the heart of all beings, particularly humans. Now, again, this human, let's watch this word, it will come again. So, who can meditate on the Lord? Human. Do you know how for 100% sure? We know Gajendra also. He remembered. We also see that um, uh, Bharat Maharaj in a deer form, he remembered that. He also meditated by standing in the same Gandaki river. He was meditating. So when he became Jad Bharat, he didn't come out just like that. There was a meditation. But generally, no, that's what is there. So we can meditate, becomes easy. The Gyanis also focus. All three types of peoples are mentioned. So they focus on that. Divinity versus the Jivatma. Very important here. The analysis of the nature of the Jivatma in context of these sutras highlight the distinction between divine and the Jivatma, underscoring the Supreme Lord's unique attribute. This is the essence, right? We are part and parcel of Him. We are responsible for Him, and Lord is all compassionate, and He is a friend of us. We can give attributes of a number of attributes, and so there is a motivation also to motivation also to understand He is within the heart. Sometimes as normally how to realize. I think Prabhu's question is here. I think I'll go there. Omnipotent scripture. Uh, okay, advanced yogis here. Okay. Yeah, his question is there. I'll park for that one. So highlights the distinction between the divine and the Jivatma, underscoring the Supreme Lord's unique attribute, right? We saw. So these sutras collectively elucidate the nature of Supreme Personality Godhead, emphasizing His omnipotence, because omnipotent, that means just like we understand, right? Lord can eat whatever bhogas we offer with the eyes, right? He can hear with eyes or all that. So here, why he cannot? He had potential. He can manifest any. He is not confined by anything. That's why he's unlimited, Lord, right? And his intimate relations with the devotees, they reinforce the importance of scripture in understanding spiritual truth and provide framework for meditation and worship. So it gives a ladder, one ladder for those Ganis or those who are meditating on the heart as a Paramatma, or other than that. Charu Prabhu's question is that I will spend a couple of more minutes on that. Okay, as you reflect on these teachings, consider, okay, how will you attain to thumb size light within today? And within today. So as I read, understand, let's take a couple of minutes and meditate. Let this ancient wisdom serve not only as a subject for contemplation, but as an invitation to deepen our own meditative practice. How does it helps? So I'll just ask the question because Prabhuji is asking, and I'll give my opinion also. So how does knowing us, the Lord is sitting in our heart, how does it help? One or two can come very quick answers.
यस प्रभु जी। और
हाँ,
जब हमें मालूम पड़ता है भगवान हमारे हृदय में है, तो
हम्म,
हमारी जो एक स्टेडीनेस होती है हृदय के अंदर, तो
हम्म,
वो अफेक्ट नहीं, अगर बाहर की जितनी भी डिफिकल्ट सिचुएशन आती है, तो
हम्म,
हम उस टाइम पे हम, और अगर हम वो सोचे कि हमारे अंदर भगवान बैठे हैं, वो फियरलेसनेस है, वो कभी भी डरते नहीं है, तो हम भी उनके जीवात्मा भी हम उनके अंश है, तो हम भी इतना डरना नहीं चाहिए। तो वी कैन बी somehow we can get face the situation very nicely and we
very
become
good.
the strong.
Okay, so it helps us. Anyone?
Yes.
Anyone? Any other? Anyone else? Okay, so short is our time. Mataji gave very nice. Paramatma is sitting in the heart. How it helps? It helps us because whenever we are doing any bad thing, many places Srila Prabhupada talks about the inner voice come. What is that? It's also Paramatma advising us don't do this one, but be careful there also. Sometimes that voice is it coming from Lord Paramatma or it's our own desire. We have to contemplate it does help, even if we are a devotees, it does not discount us. It adds a value to us knowing that Lord is eternally, and also we understand as long as we are in material world, the Lord accompanies us. Lord is within our heart when we are a human being. When we become worm in the stool, also Lord accompanies. How compassionate is that Lord, right? His only purpose is to guide us, to take us back. So apart from his divinity, apart from his sutra is talking about, it's a very important for us to dwell on that, think upon that Lord. He is always with us. He's always accompanying us in all the circumstances of that. Okay, so I think that is what is sutra. Sorry, that adhikarna. Adhikarna 24, lesson 24 complete. That's why I was just referring uh, the wisdom library. And now we'll, sorry, here, 25, we'll start with that. Okay. So any quick question before we move to that, because this is a heavy subject. We'll be continuing, we'll be completing only two sutras we'll try to do, and total 10 are there today and tomorrow. I'll conclude two today, and remaining six, which are reasonably straightforward, will complete tomorrow. That's the schedule on that. So before I move, is there any quick question? We'll have a
Yes.
question answer.
यस
Yeah.
प्रभु वन स्मॉल क्वेश्चन। तो अगर
Hmm.
कभी कभी हमें एक इंट्यूशन आता है अंदर से, कुछ ऐसा करने जाते हैं तो एक इंट्यूशन आता है कि ये सही है कि नहीं है, वो भी हम समझ सकते हैं कि ये इंडिकेशन है जो भगवान के द्वारा भेजा गया है।
So I'll park that in. That's what I mentioned, because I'll
ओके।
take that one because it can be our own desire, and there we have to understand how to interpret. If you're set, I'll give some example also in that one. We'll see, and Silapura talks about many other time. So we have to differentiate what is coming from the Lord and telling us, advising us, and what can come us, because man and buddhi we have to understand. God has created mind and intelligence. It is expected that whatever mind wants, at least he goes to the intelligence, and intelligence gives concurrence. But most of the time, if you are in which gunas, tamoguna, he just approves without thinking. So how it impacts, we'll see, right? That's why I'll park that question at the end. Any other question? Here, thumb, because this is a simple. I try to go through much faster, and anything, any on that. Uh, any question? Anything? Okay, so we'll continue on the next. Let me take little water.
Prabhuji, just
Mhm.
one advice.
Yeah,
I think you have plenty of time. Go a little bit slower.
I will go. Prabhuji, the reason I mentioned couple of times, because that we are done just now, Prabhuji, right? Recap, we are in a
Yeah.
different level also. I did. Now, this is the Adhikarana 7. It's something new. We'll
Go a
go
little
so
slower.
much.
When something important comes, go a little
Yeah.
slower so people can understand you. You seem to be
Okay.
going today you seem to be going too fast. Probably
Okay.
because you
Okay.
must be aware of the time limit.
Yeah.
But you
And
you you still have plenty of time.
I have type. No problem. Prabhuji.
Yeah.
I'll go. So that's why I stopped at that. And the reason again, I'm just saying that because small sky and all that they were related. I just mentioned, right? I gave.
Yeah.
And the same class, I don't want to repeat the same thing, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
And this one we have done many times, right? The thumb and all those things. That's the reason I went little fast on that. So let's take here. Now, Adhikarnas, the Devas can meditate on the Supreme Personality Godhead. This was the news to me, as I mentioned, and hope if others it could be there. Lot things to learn, and we'll be covering 8 sutras. Okay, that's what is there. So as usual, again I will go here. I'll go to this one, this wisdom library. It helps little bit on that because I can share the same slokas easily here. So Adhikarana 7, the Devas can meditate on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right? You can see that. Now, just now we saw that the human being, the word came, Charu Prabhu's word came, human. Meditate, I pause there for a moment because I know we'll be connecting with this one. Is the meditation exclusive authority or quality of humans? I gave a couple of examples. Meditation, Bharat Maharaj, prior, he becomes a deer. He in that form of deer, he meditated. Our discussion is little different here, but also that we cannot negate that. So it is a possible on that. So there's a generic thing again specific to the devatas that we are talking about here. So the conclusion, as we see that, yes. So devatas can meditate on the Supreme Personality Godhead, who are then comes little bit. We'll spend some time because once we go to the slides, we tend to go through philosophical aspects of that, right? We know the first people, those are following karma kanda, gradual process of rise. The karmis, when they have nishkam karmas and attached with some, some adhishtanas or something, they can become devtas, right? We know who can become Indra, like 100 Ashwameghas. Then we know who can become Lord Brahma. He is also a demigod. There Jiva Koti Brahma, Ishwar Koti Brahma, both are there, right? We see that. So Jiva Koti Brahma, 100 life, you don't, you follow dharma perfectly, right? And there are some more. So we see that. So we evolve from the Jiva. So since the question was that can only human beings, can meditate on the, absolute Lord and then they can go back to the Vaikuntha or a Golok Vrindavan or a light, whichever path they follow. And then is that the person, people who are following gradual, going to the Devtas, there, they have been deprived of that opportunity, right? So that is there. So both things will cover. One of these sutras, role of the devtas, we'll see that, how easy, how difficult can every devtas, it is a generic term. There's also, some other sutras talks about Upanishad gives a different reference. Okay, so we'll see on that. So as we see here, those people, those are, elevated themselves to the swargas. They are not deprived because in Lord's kingdom, there's opportunity for everyone, right? Even Gajendra can, at the end of 1,000 year fighting with a crocodile, he picks up the lotus flower and prays. He remembers the past, right? He's who he was in the Dumna. And the Lord comes. Some places said the Lord was so in a hurry that he said, Garuda, you are too slow, right? And the Lord come. So we see that, right? So we see how it connects with that, right? So Now, we'll go more details as we go through each sutras and discuss more. So this is there. So we are not deprived. Lord gives opportunity, as I mentioned here. So Vishayas here is advanced rishis meditate on the Supreme Brahman in the form of Supreme Lord within the heart. Okay, the people, but ordinary people cannot see him. We'll just go through a few things here. Kumar Uvacha, right? It says, I'm just going directly. The Kumar said, our dear Lord, you are not manifested to rascals, even though you are seated within everyone's heart. Although you are unlimited, but as far as we are concerned, we see you face to face. So what Kumaras, Jnana, right? They are the highest and they could go to the Vaikuntha also and meet the Lord. So they say that other people cannot see because they don't pursue the Lord in the heart also. Those are basically other karmis. They don't see that. And Bhagavad Gita talks about Naham Prakashe Sarvacha. The Lord is not visible to everyone unless until you want that Lord to be visible, the Lord guides us. Sarvacha Maradisena Visto, Mata Smartam Jnanam Aponasha. As when we want to turn towards the Lord, He gives a jnana. Otherwise, He gives a forgetfulness. Okay, so we see that. We connect many slokas. Raksha Mata ji can cite, recite many slokas on that. So within a Lord manifest. So Lord is visible for those who wants to see the Lord. Lord is invisible to those who do not want to see. He uses a strong word as a rascals here. He is everyone's heart, but some can see and some cannot see. In order to prove that Supreme Personality God is the person, the size of thumb seated in the heart of every living entity, the Vedic scripture were quoted to establish that human beings who have the right to meditate on the person. The reason I'm reading, here's the question comes here, right? So why only human? That's why I'm just going through that. Okay. The next is Svetashvara Upanishad 1.5. Here I'll talk. The super soul is situated within the core of everybody's heart. One who searches after their supreme Lord through meditation and austerity. Very important word. Both go hand in hand. Can see him within his heart. Otherwise, you can't. Just by want to, do karmis and think of their Lord will not be visible. Austerity is that you should have single focus. I want to see the Lord and leave everything apart. Lord is not a cheap. Lord Srila Prabhupada talks about many places. He's not a cheap that you come and show me your Lord, right? No, you have to do. And he gives example, right? When you want to pre prime minister, you can't go and just knock at the door and see that. You have to follow the procedure. It's not easy. So Karmis, they don't see him, but Lord is a present. Again, the underlying trait is that he's in our heart, present. So again, next Upanishad talks about here. Only the wise, Katha Upanishad talks about only the wise person who can see that super soul within his heart becomes peaceful and enjoys transcendental bliss. Why not? Right? That is the purpose. Yogis start with yam, niyam, then yam, niyam, asana, pranayam, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana. How many stages we go through, right? And when you come to samadhi, when you see the Lord, you get a bliss, you become peaceful. There's a no mental vrittis. Everything is smoother now, right? That's what we talk about. So again, so far we are talking about human being meditating, right? One more will come here. Now I can meditate with full concentration upon that one Lord Krishna now present before me, because now I have transcended the misconception of duality in regard to his presence in everyone's heart. Unless until we have desires. Why duality? Desires, right? That's the root of everything. Unless until we are purified and we know this material world is a temporary, we can give all that we are discussing, and whatever result we achieve, whatever enjoyment we do, it's all temporary, is going to remain here. So long we are there, no, you won't see him. His presence in everyone's heart, even in the hearts of a mental speculator, he is in everyone's heart. The sun may be pursued differently, but the sun is one. Right? So this evidence may lead to the belief that human beings alone have right to meditate on the Supreme Person, but this is wrong. We are trying to bring why I came here only for that. The next one again here, Aranya Upanishad. It talks about here. It says, those who are free from all material desire, which are disease of the heart, okay, are able to conquer death and enter, because samadhi state, right? You conquer. There's a what is left out there. The body doesn't make any sense at that time, and enter the kingdom of God through the higher planets. Here, gradual process is mentioned. This is not path recommended as we as devotees. Do we have to always follow? No, Chilabhat talks about you can take a escalator instead of taking a steps to reach a next level, right? Jnana, Ashtanga yoga and bhakti. So you can take the stages. That is also available. Now, here one more point. As Krishna states in Bhagavad Gita 9.25, Yanti Deva Vrta Devam. If you worship the Devtas, you go to their planet. If you worship sun god, go to the sun planet. If you go to moon, you go to the moon planet. You remain there and then you fall down. Right? That we see. Those who worship the Devas will take birth among them. This is the gradual path of elevation. And the entire thing is focused on that. Gradual elevation. We saw in the beginning. The path of elevation to the spiritual world described in the Srimad Bhagavatam. If meditation on Brahman is enjoined, find that word, only to for human being, then those men who become devas will not be able to continue their spiritual path. This is the idea creates. Thus, this idea creates a contradiction. Now, by refuting this false belief, the right of others besides men to meditate on the Supreme Personality Godhead will be proved. And that's the reason why this has been discussed. Who were among the Devtas meditate on the Supreme Personality Godhead, attain Supreme Personality Godhead. Okay. The Devas, right? So again, it talks about here, Brahad Aranyak Upanishad 1.4.10. Then second thing, who were among sages, meditated on him, attains him. Who were among human beings, meditated on him, attains. So there's a conclusion also given. The Devtas, before we go into more, philosophical aspects. So let's see the conclusion here also. Now, here I'll just go one and there's the Devtat meditate on the Supreme Personality Godhead, who is the splendor of all splendor and who is in eternity and life. Let's park for some moment. We'll understand that what is the meaning of is called Jyoti Sham Jyotir, that he is a light of all light. Okay, that's the word we'll discuss. Samshya, is it possible for Devas to meditate on the Supreme Personality Godhead as human beings do, or is it not possible? So that is the crux of that. And one more point, just I want to read, and we are going to discuss again on that. Because the Devas have no senses, they are not able to meditate on the Supreme Personality Godhead. Indra and other Devtas are simply thought form. Again, we'll talk about. So, this was also new to me, and a lot of information.
Actually,
Charu Prabhu.
Prabhuji, here it says, but you see, that's the opinion of the Purva
Yeah,
Pakshi.
I
Later
know,
on,
I
you'll
know.
see. Later on,
Yeah,
you'll see that Devas does have
yeah,
sense, do
correct.
have senses,
I
and they
know,
can
I
think.
know. Correct. And we'll talk on that. I will
Yeah,
talk
but
some,
otherwise,
for
people
example.
will get a
Yeah.
wrong impression that Devas
No,
doesn't have Devas do not
yeah.
have senses.
This
They
is the
are
Puru
just like
Paksha.
us. Yeah,
Yeah, Puru
it's
Paksha.
just
This
Purva
is the Puru
Paksha.
Paksha. Correct.
Yeah.
The devil's mind is always that. and that brings the purity, right? So just to, as Saru Prabhuji just mentioned here, understanding is that we believe 33 million demigods are there, 33 crores, right? Devatas are there. So we understand all, there are not different departments. There are like Agni Devatas are mentioned here, Vayu Devatas are mentioned, Indras are there mentioned. We see Ganges can come as in the form of a lady, Mataji, right? She comes as there. So Ganges can manifest in the form. Vayu Dev in their Puru Paksha, their understanding. Because by mantra, everything is created. And as we go by mantra, also human beings are also created. But their understanding is absolutely wrong. As Charupuru also just now added, we will go through that, right? So somewhere they find out anchoring, and that's what we are talking about. So they say that all the demigods are created by mantras, and they have no senses, they have no desire. And since there is no desire, no senses to do, why we need it? Because we suffer by mind, we suffer. When we go to miseries, we suffer. And just because we suffer, many of the people, there may not be love for Lord, or maybe love, but person like me, because I see the misery, there's no other way out. I came to the devotional platform, right? So the senses are important there. If there's no senses, then it doesn't make, right? So they believe that by you chant mantras, he can take form and appears for a momentarily, and then he disappears. All those things are there. Now let's go to the our slides here. Okay, so before we go to that sutra, we'll go through this adhikarnas more details, and then sutras are straightforward. We are going to cover only two, and I have more than 40 minutes now. As I look at my 45 minutes, I have enough time. So here, advanced yogis can meditate on the Supreme Brahman. We saw that as Supreme Lord within the heart, while ordinary cannot pursue him. Okay. If meditation on Brahman is enjoined only for a human being, then men who become devatas will not be able to continue. Then they will be deprived of, right? They will be deprived. I'll give some example on that one also. So since because they have no knowledge, something is there, they are also not ordinary people. They are associate of the Lord. They are participating in the administration of the Lord. They are not ordinary people. Okay, so they are selected with a purpose, and they are not common people. So just because they reach there, all the forward path is lost there. We will see, right, on that. So here, some of this are there here. Just now we saw that Kumaras expressed that while the Lord is seated within everybody's heart, he is not visible to unqualified. And he talks about rascal, because this we read the Bhagavatam. One can see the super soul is situated within the core of everyone's heart through meditation. Otherwise, it's not available, right? On that. Then only wise can see the supreme soul within, of course. Who is the wise? Who understand, right? The material world is a no good place. It's a temporary, whatever you try, because shoot the chewed, right? So they tried many lives, and they come to the conclusion. So only those people can see that it has meaning here. And appropriate examples are cited here, just to give some example. There could be many, there could be many, only few are cited here, just to drive the point. That's what we see here. So wise man can see, Katha Upanishad talks about it. Understanding the Lord's presence transcends duality. Once we see the Lord, nothing is left out, right? Understanding the present transcend the duality. Just now Laksha Mataji said that if the Lord is present in the heart as a Paramatma, and if you are realization, you will not do any sin, you will not do anything bad, because somebody is witnessing us, right? But thing is that we know and we don't know. That's our problem, right? So on that, so anyone including devas can achieve the supreme by meditation. They are not deprived. So the path is available for everyone. That's again Brihat Aranya Upanishad, we saw that sloka. The surrender of the devas to the supreme, Bhagavad Gita 11.21 talks about, right? It describes on that. So let's go with the Samshaya. We are still on Adhikarnas. We are not going still on Sutras. Can Devas meditate on the Supreme Personality of Godhead as human being do? Of course, yes. Puru Paksha, again lacks senses, and since there's no senses, no realization, there's no hurting, there's no feeling, and since as long as there's no hurt or feeling, then you don't have to do anything. Just here a moment you understand where the concept. As I was thinking, I had to give a class. I was thinking, when man dies, we get a Shigra body. Everything is made suitable for that, and that body is there, that we all travel such a long distance and all that the Lord creates in first 12 days, right, after our death, and that body is there. You go to the hell, and once you go to the hell, we suffer more. For example, somebody pinch you or prick you, the feeling we'll get here is a less, but the same you will go to the hell, it magnified. Same you go to the heaven. The rasgulla you eat here, one taste is there, you eat there, will have. The senses has been magnified so that you feel that you are enjoying much more. Lord is so compassionate because you desire to go and enjoy in heaven. Lord facilitate those on that. So again, thinking, otherwise, what is the why the people go to karma? Right, to elevate. If they say that only they will be called when it's a havan is made and they appear and then they disappear. No, people wants to live like a normal life. We'll see many examples as we go forward. So again, this was antithesis. And Siddhanta, I said that advanced yogis can meditate. We saw that, and devas also can meditate, and not only meditate, they also get the end result of achieving the Lord. The view that meditation is exclusive to the human is refuted. Okay, scriptural evidence. Now, 26 here. Okay, I will go back, because there are some material I like to bring here. 26. Okay, so tat uparya api badarayana asambhavat. So tad, that, upari, above, api, also, badaran, vyasadev, sambhavat, uh, become possible. When you read with the adhikarnat. Otherwise, you won't understand the meaning. This slokas, if you connect with that adhikarnat, you get the meaning what he's talking. Otherwise, says upar means what? What do you mean by that? Badran is what is samvat? What he's talking about? He's talking about that devtas also can meditate, right? That connects with that. That linkage we have to define. So here, uh,
Prabhuji,
good.
Prabhuji, sorry to interrupt. There is one
Yeah.
thing I've become very curious about, and maybe you will cover that. So, somewhere I think in Bhagavad Gita, some scriptures say that the body of demigod and animals, they cannot create new karma. They already suffering or
And we are going
enjoying.
to cover,
We are
Prabhuji,
going to cover that. Okay, okay,
we will
thank you.
cover, we will see that. That is where I said it was a shock to us. We were told that, karma bhumi, karma yoni, all those things you remember. Earth is only karma
Yeah,
bhumi, and heaven is, bhog yoni. Not only
correct.
that one, only human birth, you can create karmas, but in dog, you exhaust karmas, all those things. Keep that bag, and Charu Prabhuji, all two are there. Sharad Prabhuji is there. We will discuss on that. Okay,
Okay,
and
sorry,
right,
I was
right in the
little bit
beginning,
excited. So, yeah.
right, also beginning, I mentioned on that. Okay, so being superior to human. Okay, in a bracket. Okay, because that again the next sutta talks about human. That's why it comes here. Being superior to humankind also can meditate on the Supreme Personality Godhead. This is the opinion of Vyasa. Right now, it's an opinion, and he concludes that also. So superior means what? Anybody up. So is it only heaven we can talk about? I understand, above heaven there are five planetary system, Maharlok, Janlok, Taplok. They are also karmis, right? They are Nishkam karmis, higher level. They are more of goodness there. All those people, right? But we also know that at the end, what happens, they go to the Brahmaloka and they wait at the end of Brahma, and then they transition. When this opportunity is there, we'll also connect all that is coming up there. So being superior to mankind. So anybody above the, not only Swarga Loka, above that also, can include here. Can meditate on the Supreme Personality Godhead. This is the opinion of Vyasadeva. He's talking about. So Baldev Vidyabhushanji. Okay. Uh, the devas and other beings superior to humankind are able to meditate on the Supreme Personality Godhead. Okay, that's what he's saying. This is the opinion of the Vyasadeva. Why? Because according to Upanishad, Vedic mantras, mantras, Ityas, Puranas, that is where it's mentioned that Indra is existing. Indra was cursed and then he comes back. If Indra was cursed and then if he is only a, just form figure created without senses, then why you should worry, right? Puranas and ancient tradition, they do indeed have bodies and senses. Indra feels, Indra cries, right? We see that when Krishna goes to uproot that Parijat, Krishna's Indra's wife says that no, it's mine. That they have attachment to that. Like a human, we have attachment. There's no difference. The quality is different. That's why as we go, little by little, will add in that direction. While the senses of different kind of bodies may differ in quality, here, okay, kind, that our the principle of embodiment is common to all beings. Understand that line very clearly. That means the bodies differ quality. That means our quality in Bhuloka, the quality heaven, and the qualities of Maharloka, Janloka, we have seen they are more of subtle level and not on gross, right? We can see that also. So it differs. And I gave example, one small rasgulla, the way we enjoy here, the devtas can enjoy. Think of that. God has created only tongue. That is where the whole taste is lying. Once cross the tongue inside, what is there in belly? Is the taste? No. So see the how the Lord create the whole thing. You cannot imagine, how he does that on that. Okay. So the principle of embodiment is a common. Embodiment means what? Many times we have heard the word. We are embodying. That means we are having the body. Who is having the body? The soul, right? The soul is having the body, right? So devtas are also human being. Brahma is also a human being. He is a Jivakoti Brahma. Indra is also Jivakoti Indra, Ishwarkoti Indra. We see that also. If he is a Jivakoti Indra, he is also body. And all other Vayu devtas are all that they are soul because of their elevation by karma. And doing proper havan that is required to qualify, they have elevated themselves to that heaven and they remain for some time. And why they also meditate, there's a need of that because they also realize this is not their eternal place. So Bhagavad Gita says that, right, right from yeah, Patal Loka to Brahma Loka, and as per the place is concerned, and Lord Brahma to the Lord, and for everybody this is the place of misery and temporarily it's right. So that is not a difference. So everybody is embodied common being. So embodied is common, but the senses enjoyment or other things can differ. Okay, the Adi Devtas, demigod of like a sun god, right? He controls the eyes. We are seeing that, but he controls how it happens, right? I think we saw that, Bhagavatam second, right? So let's go little quick. So next is demigod. Okay, here further detail. Covered by mode of ignorance and material nature, the living entity is sometimes male, sometimes female, and different bodies we go. Sometimes demigod, birds, and animals. In this way, he is wandering within the material world. His acceptance of different types of bodies brought about by his activities under the influence of modes of nature, right? They are in a mode of goodness compared to us here, and they need some other qualities also. So whether you get a birth here or get a birth there, it is through that also. Third, again, second, that knowledge by which one undivided spiritual nature is seen in all living entities, though they are divided into innumerable. This is a Bhagavatam 18 chapter talks about, those we see that form, you should understand to be in mode of goodness while talking about that Paramatma is sitting in everybody's heart, but he is not a different, same Paramatmas. My heart in Paramatma is not different that Sharad Prabhu's Paramatma. Paramatma resides, the same Paramatma is in everybody's heart, right? Because the demigods are servants of Supreme Lord and have heavenly bodies, okay, celestial bodies, and senses, they are certainly able to meditate and pray on him. They have also, so they can do, there are also some abilities. We'll see that. The controlling deities of the above mentioned physical elements are empowered expansion of Lord. Empowerment is given. That empowerment is much more than us. And there's one sutra to justify that. They are embodied by eternal time under the external energy like us, and they are his part and parcel. Mamoche jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana, right? Nowhere it is said that only human beings or only ants, he doesn't say that. All we are his part and parcel from the Lord, right? Because they were interested with different functions of the universal duties and were unable to perform them, they offer fascinating prayers to the Lord as follows. We'll see that more detail because the demigods are well aware of the baseness. Understand the word baseness. That means they understand they have limited time. You have a lot of cash, come to USA, enjoy and then go back, or go to the cashew and enjoy and go back. So they understand they have fixed time. Okay. And they also see impermanence. Okay. These two are important of the celestial opulence is going to come and end. They see also misery, but compared to us, much less, right? Earth is a planet where hell and heaven exist together. Remember that also somewhere Srila Prabhupada talks about. Both are there. So it is not a much different that more maybe heavenly, more opulence maybe will be there and all that. The root of suffering of the material existence, they are able to detach from their opulence and renounce in the mood of service to the Lord. Only few people, those who see that they can renounce, but most of the people they enjoy anyway. So best of Brahmanas, here again one. Oh, best of Brahmanas. Torment does not exist only in hell. The residents on the heavenly planets also does exist, afraid that you may one day fall from heaven and have no happiness, right? So it does exist, and we see miseries of Indras and when Hiranyakashipu goes and captures, all ran away helter and shelter, right? They ran away to protect their life, forget about their opulences. For the reason Devta desire spiritual happiness. This is so because they have heard from Shruti Shastra that spiritual happy bliss is limitless. That is ultimate. There's no um, uh, limitation. What we enjoy here in a spiritual world, in a spiritual is much more, and also in Swarga, it's much more. Like we are beautiful. The people in spiritual world, they are much, much better, beautiful. Heavenly planets, they are better than us. So, we see, connect all those dots. Suti explained that Devas and other celestial beings observe hours of celebration. They also go through the process. They go to the example given Indra going to the Lord Brahma, doing learning for 100 years. So they also go through that. So comparison, human being, we go to study 21st, 25 years, Brahmachari, Grasta, Vanaprastha, right? So they also kind of follow. They also have that knowledge and understanding. But again, the opulence is so high, sometimes they forget that, right? So this is the, so here the devas, humans and asuras who have all sons who are were all sons of Brahma lived with their father and celibate students of spiritual knowledge. They remain there. It talks about King Indra lived for 100 years. That's what it talks about. Now let's go. And the first sutra, Charu Prabhu's notes, will have more details and more, you know, comprehensive way he has put that. Once we understand, it becomes easy to channelize that information that we understood here. Okay. So again, the meaning here, again, we saw that because of being superior to mankind also can meditate on the Supreme Personality Godhead. This is the opinion of Vyasadeva. Fourth is drawing on the authority of Vyasadeva. This paper asserts that even superior being like Devtas endowed with extraordinary qualities possess the capacity to mediate. Not everybody. They need extraordinary qualities. They should be cognizant of their position. If they are not there, it is there. So capability, first bucket here is a capability of superior being. So shred differently. Traditional view. Classical commenters often emphasize the unique eligibility of humans for spiritual practice, such as meditation, highlighting the rigorous discipline required. Yam, niyam, asana, right? Asana, pranayam, all that goes through that required for meditation and the comparative distraction faced by. So we need a practice and we have distraction, but there's a much more distraction in the heavenly planet than us. Okay, so again comparison here we have to see due to their abundant appearances heaven. This view maintains that meditative absorption specially attainable within the human condition, especially attainable easy, right? It's easy assertion. However, drawing upon Vasudeva's authority as a reference sutra, the commentator assert that both devas and humans possess the capacity to meditate on Supreme Personality Godhead. While traditional perspective may dwell on distinctions based on embodiment. That's the first distinction. We are embodied. People in heaven, they are embodied. So they have soul and they have body. They have celestial body. We are material body on earthly planet. And circumstances, the scriptural evidence suggests that shared potential across different orders the being. Okay, different orders of being. So shared potential. Their growth is not stopped. They are not defined. Nature of embodiment. There, all being including demigod possess bodies and senses different qualities, right? Discuss how Jivatma wanders in the various forms due to their action influenced by mode of material nature. Bhagavad Gita 18.20 highlights perception individual spiritual nature here, which is present throughout the form of existence, both human and divine, refers to that which is unmanifest. That he's talking about the soul inside on that, to the imperishable, pointing to a single spiritual essence. Right? It's a go to the tattvas. That is not limited by distinct qualities of the body. This vision, according to the Gita, underpins spiritual practice because Devas share in this common spiritual substance. Their embodiment does not prelude meditative absorption. They are not excluded. The capacity to meditate thus arises not from the being physical makeup, how your body created, Gyanendra, Karmendra, and all those things, sense objects and all those things we talk about, but share undivided essence. Again, this underlying point, Charu Prabhu is trying to make that don't get stuck up here. There is a path forward. Service orientation of the Devas and the role. Now is there. We have what role we have? We have only one Jiver Swarupa and Nitya Krishna Das, right? So that is our Swarupa, but we forget and then we go struggle through that. But Devas have, in addition to that, their specific duty. So they become participant, they become associate of the Lord to take the administrative work of the heaven. As an appointed administrator of the universe, universe by the Supreme Lord, they possess celestial bodies and they are capable of meditating and offering prayers. Okay. Describe Devta's prayer to the Lord, emphasizing the role of universal duties. We'll see little more on that as we go forward. Awareness of impermanence. They are aware of that. Devas recognize transient nature of their celestial existence. They know not everybody, motivating them to seek spiritual happiness. In Vedantic thought, this awareness of impermanence, anitya, gives rise to yearning for liberation. So they know muksha, right? Mukshva, that liberation, as being realized that no state within material existence, no state, mind the word, realize that no state within the material existence, that means it includes Brahmaloka to the Patal Loka, can provide lasting fulfillment except connecting with him. The Deva's sense of impending loss thus mirrors the universal human striving for permanence and freedom, inviting sympathy, empathy, and underscoring that impetus for spiritual pursuit transcends distraction between celestial and human being. Impetus is there. The miseries, right, is there. Our impetus may be more, as Mother Kunti says, give me more misery, so we, Lord, we remember you. There also they may be enjoying, but some may be intelligent souls there. They may be remember, hey, I'm enjoying today, but what about next day or next month or next year, right? Day will come. Vishnu Puran indicates that heavenly being also experience torment, fear. We saw that. Desire for spiritual knowledge, celibacy. We just saw that. They go, Indra also went and people can go. We'll go to the Brihat Aranya Upanishad. Mentioned Devas living as celibate students of Brahma. It talks about Brahma in Vedic society, celibacy functions as a disciplined period of study and self-restraint was required there, right? Not enjoyment only. Traditionally undertaken by students as a foundational stage of spiritual learning. So they have the knowledge. This practice situates the Devas' commitment to spiritual education in the familiar pedagogical context. Now, this Upanishad says that Chandogya Upanishad 8.11.3 said that Indra lived 100 years. That is talks about. Now, one more point here. Uh, Counter arguments. Okay. Before delving into the specific Vedic objection, it is relevant to briefly consider how cross-traditional viewpoint address questions of non-human. Devtas being access to the relation with the divine is available in several spiritual traditions such as schools of Buddhism, Buddhi sattvas, Buddhi sattvas, and special branch of Christianity. They have concept angels. I understand that part. They are mediating, in between the Lord and the jivas. So they are intermediary. They play the role into that. While doctrine and metaphysics differ, the recurring presence of these themes suggests a broader irreligious recognition and uh, ir- interreligious. So Christianity or Buddhism, so there is a concept of some assistance available. This comparative reflection strengthens the argument's relevance by framing the assertion of meditative potential among devas within the wider theological conversation. Objection address. Potential objection to the nature of Deva's created mantra is discussed here. So, and highlighted their complexity in embodiment and their presence across various rituals. And as we discussed, it is believed when somebody meditates, Indra appears. So, two things are here. One is their body has got a senses. Another part we understand, devas are empowered by the Lord. They can simultaneously appear in different places. I'm doing Havan, Charu Prabhu is doing, Sarat Prabhu is doing, all we are three different cities. The same Lord will come three times simultaneously can come, right? So again, multiple bodies concept we'll see in the next also on that. So as we see that, understand, they have separate bodies and that body has been empowered by the Lord. Right? That's important. Provide foundational support for argument and superior being, including Devta. So they are not mentally created, right? Celestial existence. The text show that even celestial beings are aware of their material limitation. So I will take a 27, read that, and I'll stop again in exactly 15 minutes, and then we'll have enough time to go through that. Because my target is to finish one more. So we are done 4 and 6 are parked forward tomorrow. Because the next sutra is connected very much with this one. And it will add value in our discussion also today. 28. 28 or 27, 25, 26, 28. Okay.
Prabhuji, 27.
27. That's I clicked twice by mistake. Okay. Now here. Virodha karma niti cha ena अनेक न अनेक प्रतिपत्तेर दर्शनात् है ना विरोध कर्मानिति च अनेक एक अनेक एक अनेक न अनेक प्रतिपत्तेर दर्शनात् Okay. So here it says Virodat is a contradiction. Karmani in activities. Iti thus. Karmani iti. Chetra if no, not. Aneka. The word aneka here. No, aneka here. Aneka is there. More. Prapti pateha because of acceptance. Darshanat because of seeing. So two things are remember here right now. They have senses there. There's a motivation go. So that part for the details will come. Second thing, the question comes: the devatas have appear simultaneously in many form, right? How it is a possible, and that empowerment is there. So whatever Vedas is talking about, whatever Vasudev is saying, it is not a wrong. Only thing is our understanding was incomplete, right? That's what we are trying to complete here. So they can have different forms. It says if it is objected that the idea is refuted by activities of devas, then I say no, because it is seen that devas have power to manifest many forms. Simultaneously, they appear many. So again, this is a confusion. First thing created by Vedas. Believe it, as we go further tomorrow, we'll say we have been created, humans are created by mantras. Everything is created by mantras coming from Vedas, and how we connect, we'll see that. But here this is not the understanding of their understanding was different. The devta doesn't exist in personalities, right? Those are the people, their understanding is like that. So Baldev Vidyabhushan says there is no contradiction here. If it is accepted that devas are embodied souls with a material bodies, so far good. Why? Sutras say Aneka and Prati Pater Darshana. They have multiple bodies because it is seen that devas have power to manifest many forms simultaneously. And we have seen also rishis like a Saurabh Rishi, Saurabha Muni. I think how many? Eight. I think somewhere mentioned eight, somewhere 50. I am confused on that. Kardama Muni also I know he transformed himself to nine and enjoyed with Devuti. That part we understand on that. So devtas can simultaneously appear in a different form. By saying different, you can't say that they are different. They are empowered, but they are jivas also, right? After coming back to hermitage, so I'm not going here. Let's go to the Charu Prabhu's here. Okay. So this brings another thing, right? So he has senses like a material, other jivas. So they have desire to overcome and feel and transcend, meditate. And the second is second question comes here is they have multiple forms. Then is that the same like the jivas? Because we can't duplicate, right? Krishna can become 16,108 palaces. He himself can multiply. It's a possible, but also devtas can also do that. We saw that example because they appear simultaneously for havans or those perform. So if it is objected that this idea is refuted by the activities of the devas, then I say no, because it is seen there that the devas have power to manifest many forms simultaneously. So there was power to manage simultaneously power removes objection. So again, whatever is the acceptance, Vyasdev says it is there, addressing the contradiction. More details we are looking. If it is argued that activities of devas contradict the notion that they are being embodied soul, this premise is rejected, right? Activities of devas contradict the notion. So they are embodied soul, but they have something else, right? On that. So devas' ability to manage multiple forms simultaneously resolve the contradiction because it's empowerment. This ability therefore nullifies the charge of inconsistency. Okay, they are because we cannot do doesn't mean others cannot do, that devas cannot do, we jivas we cannot do, right? Is that by showing that devas multiplicity of form is not at odds with the embodied status, they are embodied, underlying thread. Okay, evidence, then power of manifestation. There here is the there here is Sutra 1.3 cites that many powerful beings such as Saurabh Muni, Karna Muni, we know the example, I'm not going through this one. Srimad Bhagavatam, Kardav Muni's example, we all are aware of that, right? Now go to the next objection to eternity of names. Counter arguments and objection is raised that Vedic names of demigods lose meaning during their non-existence, suggesting that uh, contradiction with the Vedic assertion of the eternal relation between names and their object. One more thought is brought. I want to just bring for a discussion. That's why I want to complete this. Mimamsa Sutra, the statement about the eternal relationship between names and their corresponding object is cited, questioning the validity of ideas that devas are merely embodied beings. It happens, devas are created. You understand, Brahma's one day, there are 14 manus. In 14 manus, all devtas are replaced. Even if you go to other Puranas, even Sapta Rishis are replaced. So when Manu changes, Sapta Rishi changes, Indra changes, all Devta changes. We know how long, Satguna, Satyuga, Tretayuga, Dwapar Kali Yuga, all that 4.32 million 42 72 million years they remain here. Devtas do change, right? They are talking about. So what happens at that when we are in Havan, and there's a transition. This is another concept that jivas can become devtas. There could be a time when they are not available. That's one idea. Just try to understand little more. Second thing, it also said that it's a position. Indra is not a person. Indra is a position. Vayudeva is a position. It is not a name, right? We saw that. So one person goes, another person occupies that thing. But again, objection is raised here, meaning during non-existence, suggesting that contradiction. Oh, it is a possible. Vedas says that it talks about Indra, talks about this, that, and all that. Wait a minute here. Is that sometimes they don't exist? Then what happens on that? Because embodied soul, they go, so they are replaced by something. You name it, you can put all those thoughts over here, and some more things are brought over here. Okay, so results of objection. The argument emphasizes that manifestation of multiple form does not negate existence of devas out their name. Instead, it supports the idea that the activity transcend ordinary limitation. We cannot multiply, they can do. Scripture highlight powerful being, the ability to suggest, like again same thing is brought here. Last, eternity of names. The Vedas discuss of the eternal relationship between names and their reference. That means Indra, Vayu, Agni Dev, or some name. Okay, underscore the importance of understanding nature of the deities and their role. Now, next slokas also we are going to go more. I'm going to stop here. Purpose was only come up to this level. Let's have a little more because I have a couple of more minutes and then I'll stop. We have 30 minutes discussion part. So how many things are changed here? Embodied soul, throughout that we have to understand why it is required, because it's a jiva. If it's not there, Lord is not embodied soul. Krishna, his body and soul is the same, but we are totally different, right? That concept is through about Krishna. Their devtas are empowered, so they have abilities to perform something. So, so since they have senses like you and me, they can feel the future distress and they can meditate. Again, highlighting principle in meditation, right? That everything should connect with that. Different form are there, so they are not like us devtas, so they cannot if they are different form, they are totally different, so they cannot meditate. Even that line can be drawn. No, they can multiply, but they are still jiva, they can go their eternity. Jivas are changed. The jivas can go to that level and the position is filled. So we will see some more example, tomorrow's what happens, how the creation, whether authenticity of Vedas, eternity of Vedas, those are highlights for, I'll keep that for tomorrow's discussion. With that, I'll stop here and I'll stop here and open for a discussion. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Wonderful session. Thank you very much. We got
Yeah.
a lot of information, Prabhu. I have one question, Prabhu. May be relevant or may not be relevant, Prabhu. on this particular topic, but it's very close to this particular area of the discussion for sure. Um, see, see, devatas or higher planets are much more subtle, yeah, when compared to us. So the way
Yes.
we enjoy, um, the way they enjoy could be completely different. The way we enjoy,
Yes.
suppose if we see a laddu, okay,
Yeah.
just by seeing laddu we cannot enjoy, correct?
Yeah.
We have to taste it. Okay,
Yeah.
our taste buds should work and everything should
Yeah.
work. Then we enjoy. But a
Yeah.
devata might be just seeing the laddu and he might enjoy.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but that level of knowledge, that level of subtleness they have. Okay, and also, in my opinion, they can see the Lord. Today, we cannot see the Lord, to be very open with you. We can see only this material world. And by seeing this universe, we will feel the Lord. Or by hearing the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, the God's name, we will feel the presence of God. But
Yeah.
they can see with their eyes. But
Yeah.
even after seeing the God, after so accessible to Krishna, why they will fall down?
Yeah. So you see, Mother Kunti talks about four type of people do not take. I know that what's a opulent birth, beauty, birth, beauty, I think opulences, right? So
High
four types of,
knowledge,
right?
high
High knowledge,
education,
high knowledge.
high education.
Those people do not come, right? So if you are talking only opulence as a part, there are a lot of opulence. So that is why we saw that not all devatas try to consider that one. The surrounding is so much so that it is said that they enjoy there. Okay, and they forget other thing. So Mother Kunti is not only applicable to earthly planet, it's applicable in this entire material world, right? The Jalma, the Aishwar, Sruta Shribhi, right? She talks about those four things. That is one part. So we see a lot of time Indra, he knows who is Krishna, but still he repeats the same mistake. One is we can argue it's a part of Lila also, but also the same thing is with us. We suffer so much that still we don't awake. We go, most of the people go the negative way, not a positive. I suffering so much, so that let me take a shelter of the Lord. How many people turn? You will see 10% of the people, 90% of the people still go negative path, right? And they get rotten. Correct. So it is there. And as far as you are concerned, that's the example I gave you, the different, how the Lord connect here. The tongue is the tip of the tongue, decide the taste, right? You cut the tape, put the food in the throat, that belly recognizes sweet, hot or any other taste, doesn't recognize. The taste is only that. Think of how Lord is, potential, how he creates. So Srila Prabhupada talks about here, you eat 10 rasgullas, oh, enough. First rasgulla taste, second rasgulla more taste, third rasgulla still more, 10 rasgulla, stop. If there's an enjoyment in that object, the rasgulla, then we should enjoy up to 20 also. But have his spiritual world, they can relish, right? So yes, the enjoyment is enhanced more. That's my understanding. Charu Prabhuji, Sarabji can talk. I give another example. In hell, we suffer
One
more.
second. One second, Prabhu.
Yeah.
So enjoyment is not there in the Rasagula. Enjoyment exactly there in our mind. So that
Exactly.
is where we are getting confused too. And then we want to enjoy the Rasagula. Is that you're
Uh,
trying to say? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So also understand, in a hellish planet, we have to suffer more, right? The same pinching done to us, our body, and hell, there's more magnified. The suffering is more magnified. The people take out your flesh, all that 38 or 39 hairs, a different place, a different thing happens. Because why? Who suffers? Is it, I suffer? Who suffers? Is the mind suffers, right? Who has to realize? It's the mind who has to realize. When you eat a rasgulla, the tongue is a dead matter, right? Made out of panchamahabhutas. So
Yeah.
where is the relation coming? It's coming to the mind also. Everything goes and boils down there, right? Maybe I think Prabhuji can also correct me on that. So that's my understanding.
So Devatas also could not come out of this particular mind concept. Yeah.
It doesn't come so easily. Otherwise,
Okay.
think of that if a person like Indra or Brahma can also make a mistake, Brahma be mourned. So take for example for the Leela purpose, who is safe? Right? Nobody safe. Lord Shiva can also run against Mohini also. Such a devotee. Again, you have two parts, right? One is Devi Leela and another is Bhumi Leela and Devi Leela. You can separate out.
So
Okay.
entire nutshell is making our mind work for Krishna. That's all. That is
What is
our
the all खेल बोलता है ना किसका है माइंड का ही है ना चारों पर मुझे कितना बोलता है
yes,
ये
yes. Got it.
that entire
Bhikshu
only
Gita.
mind Bhikshu
Bhikshu
Gita
Gita.
Lakshmita.
Bhikshu Gita we saw that what is that yoga right the man
Patanjali,
murtis where we are
Patanjali's
coming
Yoga Sutra.
Patanjali yoga so what is that it's a man only right
Man
all
only,
that
everything.
yeah. So again, how it is impact the mind? You change the mind. That's where it is. Everything changes. You take the mind. If you from everything put to the Lord, I think everything. So let's move ahead because I want to give time to Charuprabhu and Charuprabhu. Any other question? Any question?
Raksha Mataji, where Samata Mata is also there, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
So it's
Prabhuji.
like either
I'm
it's a
thinking
complete.
about
You
that.
add value, and then we'll leave last. We will give some time to Sharad Prabhu and
प्रभु
Charu
जी
Prabhu.
स्लाइड नंबर 11 में जो काउंटर आर्ग्यूमेंट है ना
क्या है?
6.6 before delving into the specific Vedantic objection, it is relevant to briefly consider how cross-traditional viewpoint address the question of non-human beings access to or relationship with the divine.
six
तो
right?
प्रभु जी उसको थोड़ा और सिंप्लीफाई करके
हाँ
समझाओ
कर
मेरे
तो
को.
एक मिनट हाँ 6-1 कौन सा बोल रहे हैं
Yes, sir. Slide number 11.6. Counter
Okay,
argument.
okay counter
Slide
argument
number क्या है? Slide number.
11
बोले
11
प्रभु 11
हाँ
11.
6 counter arguments okay
हाँ
हाँ
प्रभु
Can you
जी
project
उसको
that
थोड़ा
again?
और सिंप्लीफाई
oh
करके
I
समझाओ.
will do that I'll share it Prabhuji I'll share where I'm here okay I'll come to the Zoom let's see all of us okay share share okay share okay here before delving into see under counter argument we are talking about 26 right he's talking about here what we are talking about here impermanence nature and all those things we are talking about here before delving that means getting into specific Vedantic objections what is the Vedantic objection they are highlighting they are talking about it is relevant to briefly consider how cross traditional viewpoint address the question of non-human being access to relationship with the divine. So Charu Prabhuji brought Buddhist Sattva. I think that I thought I don't know much, but there's a concept of Christianity angels, right? What is the angel? He's not the Lord, right? They come just like a demigod. When you do something, demigod appear. They are the link between us and the divine. Who is the divine? Supreme Personality Godhead, right? So they are facilitating everything. Demigods are right. So they can also help us gradually move up the ladder, which is not the best thing, but they can they are providing rain, they are providing everything for the jiva can sustain, right? In Bhagavad Gita it talks about, right? He created the material world, he created jiva, then he created scripture, right? You go back to that, you see that, right? So let's read here again. So there in several spiritual traditions such as Buddhism, right? Buddhist sattvas and specific branch to Christianity, non-human entities play human. The angels are not human, right? They are above, play crucial role in a spiritual attainment or service. They are in between the Lord and us. Okay, that's my understanding. The Bodhisattva, I really don't know. While doctrines and metaphysics differ, okay, what is we are discussing, the recurring presence of this theme suggests broader inter-religious recognition that spiritual capacity is not exclusive domain of humankind. It is also it is not only us human, the angels also, right? So they have also opportunity. This comparative reflection strengthens the argument's relevance by framing the assertion of meditative potential among devas within wider theological conversation. The Buddhists also, they can meditate. Christian, they can also meditate on the Lord, and they also somebody helping them. That's my understanding. I will leave to Sharad Prabhuji or Charu Prabhuji to
So
if they want to add
Prabhuji,
on.
in this case, we can say that कि our guru जो है वो भी हमें वो विलिंग की है ना हमारे बीच में भगवान और हमारे बीच में गुरु
सेपरेट
जो है तो उनको भी काउंट कर सकते हैं हम
हमको गुरु तत्व से लाना नहीं है इधर. दैट्स वन थिंग. ओके.
अच्छा
भक्ति
अच्छा
मार्ग में गुरु, ही इज अ परब्रह्म, ही इज एवरीथिंग, राइट? He is the Lord. That's how we look. That's how we repose our trust in Him, Guru. Now, this one, these are for a Gyanis. These are
अच्छा
for
अच्छा
karmis. These are right in the beginning. I mentioned, do we need to think 8 inches, Paramatma in the heart? Do we do that? How many times we do that? We don't meditate. We did full form of 6.5 feet for Lord Chaitanya. Do we see in his heart he's sitting something like that? We don't see, right? So this is
yes
the bhakti,
Prabhuji very
bhakti,
true
bhakti, bhakti tradition. These are needed for those are the Gyanis, those are the brain stormers, but they help with that. God,
yes
Lord,
Prabhuji
either gradual process or Guru comes and he picks up. He has ability to picks up and he can take us direct through a ladder up to the Lord, right? He can do us. Do
Okay,
the as the function. Yeah, go ahead, Prabhuji. Go ahead.
okay, can I? Okay,
Please go ahead.
I'll touch
Yes.
this point. What we are saying, the Lord, what we are saying, the Lord appears in the size of a thumb in human beings.
Hmm.
Now the question is, what about larger animals, like
Hmm.
say whales,
Hmm.
or smaller animals, or smaller species, like
Yeah.
say an ant or a mosquito. Now, this is also answered in the Sutra 25. In Sutra
Yes.
25, it
Correct.
says, Manushya Adhikara Tat. That
Hmm.
means he appears this size in the heart of human beings. But
Correct.
because the human beings have the capacity to meditate, and therefore the measurement is given according to the size of the human body.
Human. Yeah.
Now, in case of other animals, the Lord appears also inside their hearts in a form the size of a thumb according to the measurement of thumb in these
Hmm.
bodies. Now, the
Yeah.
fact that this what we have mentioned doesn't mention animals is because the animals do not have a capacity to worship. They do not have a capacity to meditate, and they are thus considered less important. Now, the
Hmm.
scriptures they mention the size of in the human body because they are the only ones capable of meditating. Therefore, there is no contradiction.
Hmm.
That means the Supreme Lord remains in the heart of all beings of the size of a thumb. The size of thumb that differs. That is what is the meaning. And
And
in
yeah.
okay,
And the
okay.
bodhisattvas, Prabhuji, that sattva.
Bodhisattvas in Buddhism, they are the perfected beings. Now, once
Hmm.
you do this thing, that thing, then you become a bodhisattva. That means you become a perfected being.
Hmm.
Let me also cover what we spoke about demigods also. What do we understand by demigods? First, they are higher beings.
Yeah.
They are better than human beings. But who are they? Like we are talking of Indra, Chandra, the Brahma, like this. And please remember, Shiva is not a demigod. Though
Yeah.
he is counted as a demigod, but he is in between. He is almost equal to the Supreme Lord. Okay, we are still talking about the demigods. Now these Vidyadharas, Charanas,
Yeah.
Yaksha, they are also Deva Sarira. And how do we, suppose some demigod comes in front of us, how do you recognize whether he is a demigod or a human being? This is my question to all. Can anybody
I think we discuss. Yeah, we discuss.
They have
Go ahead.
Chaturbhuj form.
No. They don't touch the feet to the ground.
Acha.
Okay. Okay. So,
there are two things.
yeah.
One thing is they do not have the eyelids.
Okay. Eyelid also. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
the second very striking thing is that their feet do not touch the earth while walking. They'll walk in the space only.
Yeah.
Okay, that is the difference. And their bodies, are they spiritual or material?
Bodies
Anybody?
are material. That's what is the mention, right? It's a
Yes, that is
material.
material. But
Yeah.
still then we also have material body, but why we can't see them?
No, see, I'll tell you that. See, the
I,
Panchamaha.
Prabhuji, I am asking the devotees.
Okay, well, I'm sorry.
Anybody can say we have material body.
Because our dimensions is different, Prabhu. Their dimension is different.
The
Yeah.
dimension, if somebody is big, we can see. If it is small as an ant or the mosquito, that also we are able to see. But why we cannot see the demigods? They are also made of the same Panchabhuta.
Right. We are not qualified because, in a Treta, Dwapar Yuga, at the end of Dwapar Yuga. Yeah.
Wait. I think the answer is, just listen very carefully, because the key thing is a Panchamahabhuta. And there are Panchamahabhuta, Vayu is there, right?
Yeah.
The Vayu portion is much higher proportion than what we have. We have earthly form much more. Panchamahabhuta, what is a Panchamahabhuta? Can you name somebody? Can somebody name the Panchamahabhutas? What are the five?
Earth,
Our
water,
body is made
fire,
of that.
ether.
Yeah.
All these five: earth, water, fire, ether.
Air, ether, huh?
So the earth means the material, these things. So we have much more. So we can see each other. But the devas, they have a Vayu form more. Vayu, the air, ether. They have more, so you cannot see. And then they have a capacity to change forms also.
Yes.
Yes.
So all these things are there. But the question goes much deeper than that I will point out to you. Let first Sharat Prabhuji complete his thought. Sharat Prabhuji, go ahead.
Okay. As we saw, the demigods, they are mainly made of what? Fire and ether. That's why we cannot see. And that also, in the various explanations we saw, they can change forms. That is why we cannot see them. Otherwise, we would have been seeing them. But what about the spiritual bodies? Say, if Lord Krishna comes, still then we will not be able to see. And he is not made of any of the Panchamahabhutas. That is because he is spiritual and our eyes can see only matter and not spiritual. And we can see if he wants it as per his wish. But the difference between seeing the Supreme Lord and seeing the demigods, that we have discussed. Any question on that?
Prabhuji, I want to ask on Prasad Prabhuji's question that demigods being superior to human beings, although they have their senses are subtle, definitely their intelligence is also more. So knowing that, why they do not desire to go for liberation, and why human beings only are given more importance, and human life is the best life for God realization.
Okay. And they also know about all the shastras. They are in a much elaborated form there. But Bhagavad Katha, it does not take place there. Second, that is a bhogi yoni. Whatever they do, even if they take the name of the Lord, that is not counted. They have to come back to this material world after they have enjoyed everything they had, and here only you get the qualification for going to the spiritual world. That's why this material world, material earth, it is so important. The demigods, by doing anything and everything, they cannot. Then we are talking about why the great demigods like Brahma, Shiva, Indra, they get get illusioned. Like there is a verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, it says that Brahma is totally perfect. He is perfect. He cannot be illusioned by anybody. But they get illusioned for Leela purposes by the internal potency of the Supreme Lord. That is the reason. Like Brahma Vimohan Leela, Brahma, we are saying in the story, we are saying that Brahma got confused. But why he got confused? It was because Krishna wanted him to get confused. Like Indra, so many times he also fought with Krishna and all that. It is because the Supreme Lord wanted that. They're much higher. They have got much higher intelligence than any one of us, and they understand everything. They have got all the knowledge. Like say, we are saying about say the Ramayana or the Mahabharata, they are also existing in those spiritual worlds, but in a much elaborated form. Like Mahabharata, we have got the Mahabharata of 1 lakh texts. In this demigod's world, it is 30 lakh, 3 million verses. In the world of the Vidyadharas, it is 14 lakh verses, and in Pitraloka, it is another 15 lakh verses, like this. But they are in Bhogayoni, that's why they cannot cross beyond that point, and they have to come to this material world. That is the reason.
Yeah, Prabhuji, I have I have little different, I'll just put it. But before I go here, the question Raksha Mata's here, I'm still not convinced on that full answer. 25, you put it that correctly. Here it says, you read the complete A here, as I'm sharing here, non-human entities, okay, play crucial role in spiritual attainment. So my understanding, our Charu Prabhuji, who has written this quote, can revisit and can come tomorrow also, can give us, there is a layer between Lord and the Jivas. Like, for example, it's a non-human they are talking about. It exists in Buddhism, I believe here, or Christianity also. So they play inter role in the sense they connect the jivas with there. For example, Christianity, angels are there, they come and do a lot of things. So because the word non-human entities, that's what I was trying to explain that way. Otherwise just size only for meditation, where Buddhism meditate one way, Christians also meditate, we meditate. If that is the concept, then that word would not have been there. That's how I understand, Prabhuji. Maybe I'm really sorry, but that's how I think that.
But
Here, not, yeah, no.
meditating on what we meditate, that is important. Like somebody meditates on the all-pervading Brahman, and still, if we think he will reach the Supreme Lord, that answer we know that it cannot be done. Like other religions, we should not discuss, but their thinking is different. Our thinking is different. Our philosophy, which is given in the Shastras, is very, very deep.
No, they are talking about, see, if you go below the operational capabilities, like angels come, they give some message and all that, right? So I'll leave it, but Charu Prabhuji can read a little later on what he wants to.
I think now we have only 2-3 minutes, so I'll speak tomorrow. Okay?
I'm stopping. I have stopped here. Okay.
No,
Hare
I'll
Krishna.
speak tomorrow. But
Okay.
see, remember that this is being streamlined in our YouTube. So be careful, okay, when you speak of other religions, okay, and
Yeah.
uh, be very, very careful for that. Uh, they have their viewpoints, no doubt about it, you know. Uh, uh, Here it is mentioned just for the comparative purposes that
Mm,
all religions basically their underlying message is same than us
mm,
compared to us. There's not difference, okay,
mm,
but the individual philosophies are varies a little bit, okay.
mm,
In
yeah.
Buddhism is also like that. So
Mm,
let's not dwell or get into it too much in other religions, because I would be very frank. I don't know much enough about the religions, such comparative
mm,
depth that we have in our own Sanatan Dharma, you know. So that's why we have to be very careful, specifically when you want to criticize someone other's religion. Let's not get into it, you know.
yeah.
Um, there are some issues that rather Prabhuji raised. I'd like to dwell. I'd like to just sort of elaborate more. Since today we don't have time,
Mm.
tomorrow I will speak. Okay?
Yeah, same subject continuing, Prabhuji. Tomorrow also those
Yeah,
4 slokas. That's why I left
yeah.
it. I opened
So
only here for
tomorrow I'll but give me about at
yeah.
least 10 minutes. Okay, at the end of the report.
No problem. Because that is tomorrow not much since the last 3 sutras are nothing much.
Yeah,
Only couple of concepts. Now
yeah. If
Sanjay
you can
Prabhuji
give
is
me
also yeah,
15
yeah,
minutes tomorrow,
sure.
I'll elaborate much deeper on that. All these things.
Right.
Okay?
Also, Sanju Prabhuji's question that in a Swarga they exhaust the karmas and all that. That also will deal tomorrow because the sutras are aligned with that. We'll see. Prabhuji, Sanju Prabhuji, will answer your question tomorrow.
Sure, Prabhu. Okay, thank you. Thank you
Okay.
so much. And
Okay.
wonderful walkthrough,
Okay.
Prabhu. Was very
Let's Prabhuji,
effective.
over here in the US we have about 11:30 now. Okay,
Yeah.
and I
Okay.
haven't
We'll
had my
see.
dinner. I haven't had my dinner yet.
Hare Krishna.
तो
Hare
पेट में चूहे दौड़ रहे हैं बहुत भूख लगी है
and
so let's end it
close
conclude
that.
it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure,
Okay.
Prabhuji,
yeah,
I'll do the Narsimha, please.
yeah, please.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Such a wonderful class. Please accept my humble obeisances. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Praladadadaine. Praladadadaine. Hiranyakashipurvakshaha. Hiranyakashipurvakshaha. Shilatankanakalaye. Shilatankanakalaye. Ito Narsimha Parato Narsimha. Ito Narsimha Parato Narsimha. Yato yato yami tato Narsimha. Yato yato yami tato Narsimha. Bahi Narsimha Hridaye Narsimha. Bahi Narsimha Hridaye Narsimha. Narasimhamadim Sharanam Prapade. Narasimhamadim Sharanam Prapade. Tava Karakamalavaре Nakham Adbhuta Shringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringam Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Tava Kara Kamalavari Nakam Adbhuta Shringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringam Keshavadrita Narari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Narsimhadev 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 Jaya Narsimhadev Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Nitai Gaura Hari हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल। जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद। जय जय प्रभुपाद। जय जय गुरुदेव गुरुदेव गुरुदेव। जय जय गुरुदेव। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। हरि बोल। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण
Hare
कृष्ण
Krishna,
कृष्ण
Krishna
हरे
Krishna,
हरे,
Hare Hare, Hare
हरे
Ram,
राम
Hare
हरे
Ram, Hare Ram,
राम,
Ram
राम
Ram,
राम हरे
Ram,
हरे।
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
थैंक यू।
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna
Miss
devotee.
Radha.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
everybody.
Prabhuji, for wonderful
Very good.
Thank you.
class. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Thank
Krishna,
you.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
प्रभु जी दंडवत प्रणाम।
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hi,
Krishna.
both.
Thank you
So
very
we
much.
see, we meet again tomorrow.